Easy English Podcast. Let's start, guys.
Can I ask you something personal? When was the last time you went to bed and you felt genuinely satisfied with your day? Not just tired, not just I did a lot of things, but actually satisfied. Like, yes, today meant something. Take a moment. Think about it. Because I think a lot of us, and I really mean a lot, we go through our days feeling incredibly busy. We wake up early, we reply to messages, we make to-do lists, we rush, we multitask, we forget to eat lunch, we finally sit down at night, and somehow we feel empty. Like we've been running all day, but didn't actually go anywhere.
Oh, wow. Okay, Maya. That hit me before I even had my morning coffee.
Good. That was the plan.
Honestly, though, I felt that deeply. Like last Tuesday, I was moving the entire day. I was doing something every single minute. And by 9 p.m., I looked at my list and thought, what did I actually accomplish today? And the answer was, I'm not sure.
That feeling, it's so common, and it's also so exhausting, because being busy can feel productive, it looks productive, but sometimes it's just noise.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Welcome back, friends. Welcome to Practice Easy English, the podcast where we talk about real life, real feelings, and real English together. If you're here for the first time, hello. We are so happy you found us. Make yourself comfortable. Maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, or just sit in a quiet corner with your headphones in. You are safe here.
And if you're a returning listener, welcome back. Seriously, it means the world to us that you keep coming back. I'm James.
And I'm Maya.
And today's episode, it's a good one. Because we're going to talk about something that affects almost every single person on this planet.
The difference between being busy and being productive.
Which, by the way, are not the same thing. Not even close.
Not even a little bit.
So, Maya, before we dive in, let me ask you this. When someone asks you, how are you? What do most people say?
I'm fine. Or I'm good. Or honestly, the most popular answer these days, I'm busy.
Right. I'm so busy. It's been a crazy week. I have so much going on. And we say it almost like a badge. Like being busy is proof that your life is important.
It's interesting, isn't it? We live in a world where being busy has become a kind of status symbol. If you're not busy, people wonder, are you okay? Do you have enough to do? Are you being lazy?
Which is a little bit strange when you really think about it, because busyness doesn't automatically mean progress.
Exactly. You can be extremely busy and still feel completely stuck, like a hamster on a wheel. You know that image? The little animal running and running and running inside that little circle. So much energy, so much movement, and going absolutely nowhere.
Oh no, now I feel personally attacked.
Sorry, James.
No, it's true. I've been that hamster. Many times.
So let's talk about what busy actually feels like, because I think we've all experienced this. You wake up in the morning, and before you even fully open your eyes, your mind is already moving. Like your brain doesn't give you a single quiet second. It's already listing things, reminding you, worrying about the afternoon, thinking about yesterday.
It's like waking up in a crowded train station. All that noise before you've even had a chance to breathe.
Yes, beautiful. The mind feels like a crowded room, everyone talking at once, and you can't hear yourself think. And then you get up. You check your phone immediately, emails, messages, notifications, and suddenly you're reacting to everyone else's needs before you've even decided what you need for the day.
That's such a good point. The reactive life. You're not choosing your day, you're just responding to it.
And that's one of the big differences, I think, between busyness and productivity. Busyness is often reactive. Something comes in, you respond. Something pops up, you handle it. The day just happens to you. Productivity is more intentional. You decide where your energy goes. You choose what moves you forward.
That word intentional. I love that. It means you're doing things on purpose, with a reason.
Right. And it sounds simple, but it's actually really hard to live that way, especially in a world that's always asking something from you.
Can I share a story? Because this actually happened to me. It's a little embarrassing, but I think it's relatable.
Please, yes.
So a few months ago, I was working on a project, and I had this one big, important task I needed to do, but it felt difficult, a little uncomfortable. I kept putting it off. So instead, I started doing all the other things. I answered emails that didn't need answering that day. I reorganized my desk. I made a new, very detailed to-do list. I even, and this is embarrassing, I even color-coded my calendar, like with different colors for different types of tasks.
Wait, did it help?
It looked absolutely beautiful and helped exactly 0%.
I'm sorry. That is so relatable, though.
And at the end of the day, I felt exhausted. I'd been working for hours. But the one thing that actually mattered, I hadn't touched it.
That's such a perfect example of what some people call productive procrastination. You're doing real things, they just aren't the right things. You stay busy so you don't have to face the harder, more important work.
Productive procrastination? I didn't know there was a name for that. Now I feel both understood and exposed.
You're not alone. I do this too. We all do. It's actually a little bit of psychology. When we face a task that feels big or scary or uncertain, our brain looks for easier wins. Smaller tasks that give us that little feeling of done, without the real discomfort.
Right, because checking something off a list feels good, even if it was a small, unimportant thing.
Exactly. And feelings are like a heavy backpack sometimes. We'll do almost anything to make them a little lighter, even if it means avoiding the thing we actually need to do.
Wow. Okay, that metaphor just sat down on my chest.
Good.
I want it to mean something.
Wait, did it help?
It looked absolutely beautiful and helped exactly 0%.
I'm sorry. That is so relatable, though.
And at the end of the day, I felt exhausted. I'd been working for hours. But the one thing that actually mattered, I hadn't touched it.
That's such a perfect example of what some people call productive procrastination. You're doing real things, they just aren't the right things. You stay busy so you don't have to face the harder, more important work.
Productive procrastination? I didn't know there was a name for that. Now I feel both understood and exposed.
You're not alone. I do this too. We all do. It's actually a little bit of psychology. When we face a task that feels big or scary or uncertain, our brain looks for easier wins. Smaller tasks that give us that little feeling of done, without the real discomfort.
Right, because checking something off a list feels good, even if it was a small, unimportant thing.
Exactly. And feelings are like a heavy backpack sometimes. We'll do almost anything to make them a little lighter, even if it means avoiding the thing we actually need to do.
Wow. Okay, that metaphor just sat down on my chest.
Good. I want it to mean something.
So let's flip it. What does productivity actually feel like? Because I think people confuse it with just doing more.
That's such a good question. I think real productivity, the deep kind, actually feels quieter than busyness. It doesn't feel rushed. It feels more like focus. Like when you're working on something and time just slips away. You look up and an hour has passed, and you feel in it.
Oh, I know that feeling. That's like, I think some people call it a flow state.
Yes, exactly. Flow. When you're so engaged in what you're doing that your mind isn't jumping around. It's not thinking about the past or worrying about the future. It's just here, present, working. And after that kind of work, you feel tired, but in a good way. Like after a long walk in nature. Your body is tired, but your spirit feels clean.
Oh, I love that distinction. Good tired versus empty tired.
Yes, busy tired leaves you depleted and kind of hollow, like something was taken from you. But productive tired, you actually feel full, even if you worked hard, because you moved forward. You did something that mattered. Right. And that sense of meaning, that's what so many of us are actually searching for. Not just more hours in the day, but more meaning in the hours we have. Can we talk about mornings for a second? Because I feel like mornings are where this whole busy versus productive thing really shows up. Oh yes, let's go there. So I have a friend, smart, driven, lovely person, and she told me her morning routine. She wakes up at 6 a.m., immediately checks her phone, scrolls for about 20 minutes, then feels guilty for scrolling, then rushes through a shower, eats breakfast while reading work emails, gets stressed by an email before 8 a.m., arrives at work already exhausted. And the day has barely started.
Exactly. And she said she feels like she's always behind, like she's chasing the day instead of leading it.
That image, chasing the day, says so much. When you start your morning in reaction mode, the whole day can feel like you're trying to catch up. Like time is slipping away like water through your fingers before you've even had a chance to hold it.
And the phone. Oh, the phone. Her little glowing best friend and worst enemy.
Exactly. And I'm not here to say don't use your phone. That's not realistic. But that first hour of the morning, it's really precious. What you put into your mind in that first hour often shapes how the whole day feels.
So, what do you do, Maya, with your mornings? If you don't mind sharing.
Of course. I'll be honest, I don't have a perfect routine. Some mornings I fail completely. But on my better mornings, I try to give myself just 10 or 15 minutes before I look at any screen. Just quiet. Maybe I make tea, look out the window, let my mind wake up slowly, like a garden that needs a little time before the flowers open.
That's beautiful. And honestly, 10 minutes sounds achievable. It doesn't have to be a 2-hour morning ritual.
Right. Small and consistent beats perfect and occasional. Every time.
Small and consistent beats perfect and occasional. I want that on a t-shirt.
Go for it.
Okay, so we've talked about mornings. Let's talk about the to-do list. Because I feel like the to-do list is at the center of this whole conversation.
Yes, the to-do list.
our faithful companion, our constant source of guilt.
Why does a list that's supposed to help us so often make us feel terrible?
I think it's because we're not always honest with ourselves when we make them. We write down 15 things for the day, and deep down we know we can maybe do 4 or 5 well, but we write 15 anyway. And then at the end of the day, we look at the 10 things we didn't finish and feel like we failed, when actually we did work. We just set an impossible standard. Exactly. And I think one of the most powerful shifts you can make is asking yourself this question at the start of the day. If I only accomplish one thing today, what should it be?
One thing.
Just one. Your most important thing. Your anchor task. The thing that if you did it and nothing else, you'd still feel okay at the end of the day.
That's such a simple reframe, but it forces you to prioritize. You can't say everything is important if you can only pick one.
Right. And once you have that anchor, everything else becomes secondary. You're not removing the other tasks. You're just being honest about what matters most.
I feel like this is the difference between a long shopping list and a grocery list where you know you only have 20 minutes and $10. Suddenly you know exactly what you actually need.
That is a perfect analogy. I'm using that.
Please, it's yours.
You know what else I want to touch on? The comparison trap. Because so many people feel busy and unproductive, partly because they're constantly looking at other people's highlight reels. On social media, someone always seems to be doing more. Waking up at 5 a.m., working out, running a business, writing a book, being a great parent, cooking beautiful food. And you look at your own day, your quiet, ordinary, imperfect day.
Which is not fair to yourself at all.
Not fair at all. Because you're comparing your inside, all your doubts, your tiredness, your mess, to someone else's outside. Their edited, curated, filtered highlight reel. It's like comparing your rough draft to someone else's published book.
Oh, that's such a good one. Your rough draft to someone else's finished book.
And everyone has a rough draft. Everyone.
The people who look the most productive online are often the ones who are the most overwhelmed offline. I've seen it. I've been it.
So the antidote to that comparison, I think, is coming back to your definition of a good day. Not someone else's. Yours. What does your meaningful, productive day look like? Maybe it's quiet. Maybe it's slow. Maybe it only has 2 or 3 real accomplishments. That's okay. Depth over volume. Yes, depth over volume. Always.
Actually, Maya, I want to pause here for a second because we've been using some really useful phrases in this conversation, and I want our listeners to catch them.
Oh, yes. Good idea.
So one we used earlier, I'm swamped. Have you heard that one?
Swamped. Yes. Like a swamp, you know? A very wet, muddy area where you can get stuck. When you're swamped, you feel completely overwhelmed, buried in work or responsibilities. You can say, I'm sorry I haven't replied. I've been totally swamped this week.
Or work has been crazy. I'm absolutely swamped.
And it's casual, conversational, perfect for speaking with friends or colleagues.
Another good one, spinning my wheels. This is such a vivid phrase. Imagine a car wheel spinning fast, but the car doesn't move. You're using energy, but going nowhere.
I feel like I've been spinning my wheels all day. Or, I worked for 3 hours, but I'm just spinning my wheels. I can't focus.
And of course, we mentioned this earlier, to put something off, which means to delay it, to push it to later.
I keep putting off that difficult conversation. Or, don't put it off. Just do it now.
Which, easier said than done, honestly.
Always.
James, I want to ask you something a little deeper. Why do you think people choose busyness, even when it doesn't make them happy?
That's interesting to think about. I think sometimes busyness is a way to avoid things. Not just tasks, but feelings. Like, if you're always busy, you never have to sit quietly with your own thoughts. You never have to face the uncomfortable questions. Am I happy? Is this the life I want? Am I moving towards something meaningful?
Busyness as avoidance. That's profound. When the mind is always occupied, there's no space for those thoughts to spiral. You fill every quiet moment with noise, with tasks, scrolling, plans, meetings, because the silence can feel a little scary. Right. Because in silence, those thoughts spiral like a tunnel. They can get dark. They can get honest. And sometimes honesty is uncomfortable. So we keep moving. We stay busy. Not because it's good for us, but because it's safer than stopping.
That kind of hit me, Maya.
Me too, actually. I've done this. I do this. Sometimes I keep my calendar so full that there's no room to feel things I don't want to feel.
And then you burn out.
Yes. And burnout is what happens when the body and mind finally say, we're done running. We're sitting down now, whether you like it or not.
Your body sends the invoice.
Exactly. And by then, the cost is very high.
So, what's the healthier path? Because I don't want us to just point at the problem. Let's talk about what actually helps.
I think the first thing, and it sounds almost too simple, is just noticing. Notice when you're busy but not moving forward. Notice when you're checking things off but not feeling satisfied. Notice when you're avoiding your most important work by doing easier things. That noticing, that awareness, is the beginning of change.
Awareness before action.
Always. You can't change what you don't see. And then, and this one takes courage, start asking yourself, does this task actually matter? Not, is it something I should do? Not, will someone be upset if I don't? But genuinely, does this move me towards something that matters?
That question could cut a lot of people's to-do lists in half.
Probably. And that's okay. A shorter list of meaningful things is worth more than a long list of noise.
Quality over quantity.
Always. In work, in relationships, in how we spend our hours.
Can we talk about rest for a moment? Because I think rest is one of the most misunderstood parts of productivity.
Oh, this is so important. Yes.
There's this belief, especially in hustle culture, that rest is a reward. You earn rest after you've worked hard enough. Rest is what lazy people do. Sleep is for the weak. And I think this belief does a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. Because rest isn't the opposite of productivity. Rest is part of productivity. Think about it this way. Your brain is like a phone battery. You can run it at full brightness with all the apps open constantly, and it'll work hard, but it'll drain fast, and eventually it'll shut down. Or you can rest it. Dim the screen sometimes, close the apps, let it recharge, and it'll work better for longer.
And I think we've all experienced those moments when we step away from something, take a walk, sleep on it, do something completely different, and then suddenly the answer comes. The idea appears. The solution that felt impossible suddenly seems obvious.
Yes, because when you rest, your brain doesn't actually turn off. It's doing quiet background work, processing, connecting, creating. Rest is where a lot of the best thinking happens. It just doesn't look like work.
So resting is productive. We're just bad at believing that.
We are. And giving yourself permission to rest without guilt is actually one of the most productive things you can practice.
Okay, I have to ask, have you ever, and be honest, have you ever sat down to rest and then immediately started feeling guilty about it?
Oh my goodness, all the time.
Like you sit on the couch, you're watching something relaxing, and your brain goes, you know what you should be doing right now?
You have emails.
There's laundry.
That report isn't going to write itself.
You haven't called your mother in 2 weeks.
Stop. This is too real.
The productivity guilt brain never truly clocks out. It's working overtime even when you're trying to rest.
It really is. And I think part of the work is just learning to be kind to that brain, gently telling it, thank you, I see you, but right now we're resting on purpose. And that's okay.
Talking to your brain like a worried little friend?
Exactly. A very worried, very well-meaning little friend who just needs reassurance sometimes. Before we get to our word tour, I want to give our listeners some real, practical sentences they can use in English, in daily life.
Yes, let's do it.
So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you can say, I have a lot on my plate right now. A lot on my plate means you have many responsibilities at once, like a plate full of food, so much that it might overflow.
I have a lot on my plate this week, so I need to focus on what's most important.
Perfect. Another useful one, I need to step back and reprioritize. Step back means to take a little distance, physically or mentally, to see the bigger picture. And reprioritize means to rethink what's most important.
I've been running around all week. I need to step back and reprioritize.
You can also say, I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. This is a really common phrase. It means you want to be more efficient, to get better results with less wasted effort.
My goal this month is to work smarter, not harder.
And one more, I'm learning to say no to things that don't serve me. This is a powerful sentence. Doesn't serve me means it doesn't help me grow, move forward, or feel good. It's not adding value to my life.
I used to say yes to everything. Now I'm learning to say no to things that don't serve me.
These are all phrases that real people use in real conversations about real life. And now they're yours. All right, friends, it's time for the word tour. This is one of my favorite parts of every episode. We choose words and phrases from today's conversation, words that are useful, beautiful, and very real. And we take a slow, careful look at each one. So let's begin. Word 1, overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. This means feeling like there is too much happening at once. Too many feelings, tasks, or problems. More than you can easily handle. It can feel like waves crashing over you. Let's say it slowly together. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Example 1. After a week of bad news, I felt completely overwhelmed. Example 2. She's overwhelmed with work right now. Give her some space. Word 2. Intentional. intentional. Doing something on purpose, with a clear reason, not by accident. Not just reacting, but choosing. Intentional. Intentional. Example 1. I'm trying to be more intentional about how I spend my evenings. Example 2. He made an intentional choice to slow down and rest.
Procrastinate. To delay doing something, especially something important, and do something easier instead. It comes from Latin, meaning to put off until tomorrow. Procrastinate. Procrastinate.
Example 1. I keep procrastinating on that phone call. I don't know why. Example 2. Stop procrastinating and just start. Even one small step helps. Word 4. Depleted. Depleted. Completely used up. Empty. Drained. Imagine a phone at 0% battery. That's depleted. Depleted. Depleted.
Example 1. After that long week, I felt completely depleted. Example 2. She's been giving so much to everyone else. Her energy is depleted. Word 5. Anchor task. This isn't one word, it's a phrase, but a beautiful one. Your anchor task is the most important thing you need to do today. It keeps you grounded, like a ship's anchor. It holds you in place so you don't drift. Anchor task. Anchor task.
Example 1. Every morning I ask myself, what's my anchor task today? Example 2. Finishing that report is my anchor task. Everything else can wait. Word 6. Burnout. Burnout. This is what happens when you push yourself too hard for too long, without rest, without recovery. Your motivation disappears. Your energy disappears. You feel numb and exhausted. Not just tired, but done. Burn out. Burnout.
Example 1. She worked 80-hour weeks for months and eventually experienced burnout. Example 2. I could feel burnout coming. I had to change something before it was too late.
Reactive. When you are reactive, you respond to things as they happen to you, instead of choosing what to do. Life is driving, and you're just a passenger. Reactive. Reactive.
Example 1. I was in reactive mode all day, just putting out fires. Example 2. Instead of being reactive, try to plan your day the night before. Word 8. Flow state. Flow state. The beautiful feeling of being completely absorbed in something. You're focused, present, and time disappears. It's when work feels almost effortless. Flow state.
Example 1. I got into a real flow state while writing this morning. 2 hours passed and I didn't even notice. Example 2. To reach a flow state, remove distractions and give yourself uninterrupted time. Word 9. Prioritize. To prioritize. To decide what is most important and focus on that first. To put things in order of importance. Pri or ties. Prioritize.
Example 1. When you have too much to do, you have to prioritize. Example 2. I'm learning to prioritize my health above everything else. Word 10. Meaningful. Meaningful. Something that has deep importance, that matters, that connects to your values, your goals, or your heart. Mean-ing-ful. Meaningful.
Example 1. I want my days to feel meaningful, not just busy. Example 2. Even small acts can be deeply meaningful if they come from the heart.
Beautiful. 10 words. 10 new tools for your English and for your life.
Say them, use them, make them yours.
Before we go, I want to say something to you directly. To you, listening right now. Maybe you're someone who has been running hard for a long time. Maybe you've been measuring your worth by how much you do, by how full your calendar is, by how tired you are at the end of the day. And maybe, deep down, you know that something isn't quite right, that the busyness isn't really filling you the way you hoped. If that's you, I just want you to know you are not broken. You are not failing. You are a human being living in a world that tells you to run faster and rest less. And it's okay to stop, just for a moment, just to breathe.
Because the goal was never to be the busiest person in the room. The goal was always to live a life that feels like yours. Meaningful, chosen, real.
You don't have to do everything. You just have to do the right things. For you.
Small steps, honest priorities, and the courage to rest when you need to.
That's enough. You are enough.
And hey, before you go, we have a little question for you. What is one thing you have been putting off? Something that truly matters to you? Leave it in the comments. You don't have to explain. Just name it. Let it exist in the light for a moment. Sometimes just saying the thing out loud is the first step toward doing it. We read every comment, truly. And if today's episode meant something to you, share it with someone who needs it. You never know who is quietly struggling with exactly this.
This is Maya.
And this is James.
And you've been listening to Practice Easy English. Take care of yourselves, friends. We'll see you in the next one.